Okay. Yes, we are. All right. All right. Awesome. So, hello everybody. Welcome back to Staying Connected. And on a Friday, we always usually have someone from an organization. So today I am joined. It's his second appearance on Staying Connected. I'm joined by Anf. So, hello Anf. How you doing, man?
Hi, Daniel. Right, yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
And Anf. So I'm sure the people watching, they may have seen you the first time, so they'll know. But for the people who are new, could you just please just introduce yourself briefly, mate, if that's all right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, my name is McDermott, and I am the head of marketing and corporate relationships at Benedicts Hospice. Which, for anybody who doesn't know, is someone's very own, and in fact, our only dedicated hospice across the city. So yeah, that's me.
And that's absolutely awesome. So, how are you doing today, Anf? How's everything going, man? You having a nice day, or
Yeah, good. It's Friday, isn't it? It's 4 o'clock on a
Friday?
Friday. I mean, what do you want?
4 o'clock. Yeah, exactly right. 4 o'clock on a Friday. But that's it. Yeah, get that Friday feeling, right? It's the weekend.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll have a bit of sun. So we'll see how it goes. Um,
Well,
and
it was St. Swithin's Day on Wednesday, wasn't it? And apparently on St. Swithin's Day, whatever the weather is, that's what it's going to be for the next 40 days. Now, sadly, it was a bit grim. And if I look out my window, it's still a bit grim, which is very worrying because I can't be doing my 40 days of that.
oh man, I know that'll be pretty rough. I mean, that's like the typical British weather. Whenever people think of Britain, I think unfortunately it's like damp and cold is usually the impression I think that people get. So it's not the best reputation to have, really, but guess it could be worse, to be fair. Um, yeah, mate. So Dan sent me some things. I was just talking a little bit off stream with you there, and obviously we got a big delivery from Google. I don't know if you're watching the stream on a separate screen there, Ant, but I've got a couple of stills and videos. So yeah, we've got a bunch of um, furniture there, and that should be pretty cool. For obviously we're trying to convert. Well, we are converting the room, the house that we've got. I guess you could call it building. That's the best way to put it. Next door into Diego's calf. So I think we've got some stuff that's really going to help with that. So that's really cool. And yeah, I've got a few pictures we can have a little look through here. And this is one of the truck. And yeah, so I was telling you as well, Dan was accusing you of skiving. Believe it or not, he was saying that they were in urgent need of help and you weren't there. So
Next time, I need to just get myself in a phone box and Clark Kent it all the way down.
that's the one, bud. So yeah, I think we got a piano as well. I think Dan was showing us a piano, so I'm not sure if that is
Wow,
actually.
is that Dan and what Dan and Diego's like set piece on a Saturday night, is it?
Yeah,
Or?
we could turn it into like a jazz bar, right? So it's I think that's the one, definitely. But that is quite a nice Petrie piano. There we've got all of the lads. I think we've got a few videos, and there's Haytham. That's a nice little shot of Haytham pulling that in there. I don't know if you could see that. Not his most flattering angle, I'm guessing. And let's have a little look.
Can you help us anyway?
There's the piano. There's yeah. It looks like yeah. You're right, mate. We've got plenty of helpers. So there's the piano in question there. A nice little shot from Dan.
Oh, wow.
And getting it through that door, that must have been a bit of a pain to get it through that front door as well. And there's I think that's our little makeshift gym that we've been doing at the moment. And yeah, it's starting to come together. It's been a while since I've been next door, so it's nice to see. Wow, and it looks like we're spoiled for choice with chairs there. You might see that in a second, because there's going to be a little bit of a delay as well with the stream. Might be about 30-second delay from watching it on the stream to us in real time. So you might see that in a sec. But yeah, there's plenty of chairs.
No, so when are you looking at open? Have you got an opening date in mind yet? Have you?
Oh, I honestly don't know, mate. I think that would be a question for Dan, but I'm not quite sure. I think that obviously the coronavirus is through a bit of a spanner in the works for everybody, really. But yeah, hopefully soon in the bottom. There's a nice little shot of the lads with Diego, the mascot there.
Beautiful, isn't he? Bless him.
Yeah, he's lovely. We all love Diego. Let's fly through these. I think there was a video of Haytham doing a bit of sledgehammer, and I'm gonna try and find that, and I can just quickly play that as well. So it's I'm not sure where it's gone. Oh wow, plenty of stuff like, so that's awesome. See if there we go. Here we go. Let's have a little look.
Butch.
Just Dan's comment there. 2021. Happy day, Dan.
Much strong, maybe. Therapy.
So not sure, hopefully that played alright on the stream. There's Haytham with the strong smashing with his sledgehammer there of that door open. So yeah, looks like the lads got it done. Sorry that I wasn't there to help you guys as well. That's I was there in spirit though, and obviously you couldn't make it as well, you said, Anf, but looks good. Awesome. All right, so that's really cool. So yeah, we've got Matt in the chat there saying that Anf's got an awesome lockdown tan, and I think that might be a little bit to do with the camera as well, we were talking about, right, Anf?
And it's the lockdown hairdo as well, you know. Normally I've got, if anyone knows, I've got 90s style curtains, you know. And,
like what I've got, that's what I've got now, mate, to be honest. I look like...
I can't wait for my hair to grow back and actually get a proper haircut, and that sounds really weird, but that's exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
As soon as it grows back, I'm straight down there.
That's it, man. I look like Sean Ryder in the Step Up video. Definitely. It is the 90s curtain right now. That's what it definitely feels like. But hey, man, I don't know. Have you walked past the hairdressers recently? They've got like visors on down here. I don't know if you've seen it, mate. It's
hard. I mean, my local hairdresser is a local barber's guy called Scott Denby. Denby's Barbers just road, and you know, they rely on kind of walk-ins, and there's often, you know, there's a really big buzz in the place, and everyone, you know, it's a really nice kind of manly place to go and get your haircut, and now they're not allowing anybody to sit there and wait. It just kills the whole thing. I mean, business-wise, obviously, it kills them anyway, but atmosphere-wise and all the rest, it's just sad, isn't it? You know, but it is what it is.
Yeah, man, it's tough because this is the thing, isn't it? It's like just like that with everything as well, and that's not exclusive to hairdressers. That's like you know, anywhere that you go, it's like the restaurants and everything. It's tough, and people are like, it's hard to kind of adjust back to it, but step by step, I guess, you know. Haytham, I haven't been myself, but Haytham was saying that he went to a pub like last week, I think, and he said that you have to book a table in advance, only a few tables open, and then he said that everything had to be ordered in an app. Like there was no like, you couldn't go to the bar, obviously, you had to order in an app, and then they had to bring it over. And he said because it was like the first time they'd done it, he said it was like a nightmare. Like no one knew what anyone had ordered. It's impossible to pay for anything. So there's definitely some growing pains, I guess, getting used to it.
It is.
But
the Lion King, the whole new world though, Dan, I think that's the Lion King. Is that Lion King? Maybe Toy Story. That's one of the Disney. Somebody probably died at the end.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Not wrong. So yeah, we mentioned a little bit off stream there. We were talking about Sunflower Day, mate. So obviously we did a little bit for that. Mel did her video, which was kind of in honor of Sunflower Day, which I thought was really cool, a little craft project. And I know that you guys had a live stream. Could you tell us just a little bit about what that kind of project was and what you guys did for it?
Yeah. So first of all, as well, thanks to Media Savvy for all you guys and all your help on it. You know, Haytham was an absolute star. Davey stepped me through it, which was really good. And of course, obviously Mel contributed with the video as well. So thank you so much. Honestly, it means a lot. So yeah, Sunflower Day. It's our annual day. It's basically celebrating hospice and everything about not just St Benedicts Hospice, but our hospices across the UK, as well as all things Sunderland, basically. Started out last year, and the idea was born that we just basically get businesses to wear yellow, and that was the thing, you know. We just get people to wear yellow for £1 in a bucket, whatever, and see where it goes. And it's just took the life of its own. You know, we had celebrities involved. We had, you know, the landmarks in Sunderland are lit up, so Keele Square was lit yellow, Picture Monument, blah. Anyway, this year, of course, COVID-19 came, and our plans were really scuppered. On the back of that, we thought, well, what do we do? Because we can't get out and see people in their businesses, we can't take our mascot and all these things. So what do we do different? And that's where Sunflower Day Live was born, which of course you guys were part of.
I think that's really cool as well, Anthony. Just to kind of go off what you were saying there, I know that you and Haytham like kind of touched on that, and I mean, I watched a little bit of you and Haytham's initial stream, and it's kind of weird to watch it back because that was like in the like peak of like full on COVID time. So it was like just to kind of see that like at that time it was pretty crazy, man. And obviously you guys had, like everybody else, had to kind of switch everything virtual and had to kind of think of different ideas. So I think it's really cool for you to be able to kind of, you know, have that kind of creativity and think okay, so that's one thing. How are we going to be able to adapt this, or what ideas can we do that are going to kind of change stuff? And now that we're not coming towards the end of it, but we are getting, it's getting better, let's say. And how have you found that? Have you found that things are starting to get somewhat back to normal on your end, or is it still more or less the same?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough for us, but I mean, just going to what you were saying about people adapting things, I've been wanting to push digital for many years now, and it's a real difficult kind of thing to get through. There's perhaps some of our staff and some of our supporters that are used to doing things in a certain way. Lots of them are older. And actually, what COVID has done, because you've got to look at the positive of these things, is it's proved that actually digital isn't a big scary world, as you guys well and truly know, that actually anyone can jump on Zoom, anyone can watch a live stream, anyone can get involved in doing things digitally, doing things that bit different. And do you know what? In some ways, it's give people the kick at the backside that perhaps we needed to move into the new time, and
Yeah.
people don't like seeing that, but it's true, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's a thing, mate, and I think that's a good point because I think that everybody and their uncle knows how to use Zoom now. Like, you know what I mean? Like people who would have never ever used Zoom like in their life, they're being forced to because of this situation. So I think definitely, mate. And on this stream, we always try to look for the positives, and I think that is one. It's kind of push people in that good direction to maybe be a bit more kind of like savvy technologically. So I think that's definitely a positive out of it, 100%.
No, definitely. But I guess in terms of kind of fundraising for us, as you can imagine, it's taken, it's had a major impact on us. So, all of our events this year are cancelled. It's bringing a lot of money for us. So last year, as the Crazy Media staff, we went to China. We brought in £85,000.
Yeah.
This year, we can't do any of that, of course. The Great North Run's been cancelled. The Sunday Running Festival's been cancelled. We literally cancelled our skydive this morning, which was meant to be taking place in September. Now, all of these things have a massive detrimental impact in terms of our income. But you know what? The attitude we take is there's not a lot we can do about it. You've just got to kind of pull your big girl pants up and get on with it, because
yeah, man.
What do you do otherwise? What, feel sorry for yourself and cry in your Greg's pasta? You can't. You have to adapt to change, and you have to think of something new. And I guess for me, I take the positive out of everything. And again, you have to just see what comes out of this.
And I noticed as well that a few people, and I noticed that that you guys, there was obviously talk of making the Great North Run virtual and people kind of doing it at their own pace. Is that still going ahead? And what's the update with that?
So we obviously we knew the Great North Run was cancelled quite a while ago now, and we wanted to get in there before anybody else did in terms of our own event. The Great North Run, what they've done is they've done a couple of things called a Great North Run Solo and the Great Run Solo. So one of them you can run, I think it's 40 runs prior to the Great North Run, and you get a medal, and the other one is a variety of distances. Great events. However, we want to do something for us, and what we came up with was the idea of Team Benedict, which is our collective name for our fundraisers, and Team Benedict versus the Great North Run distance. So all we're asking for people to do is very simple. Anybody can do it. In the week building up the Great North Run, free to enter as well, which is key. Is they just complete 13.1 miles. It's a couple of miles a day. They can walk, crawl, dance, scuba dive, swim it. I'm not really bothered, to be honest. And we just want to get people out there, get people active. And if people raise a bit of money, fantastic. If they don't, you know what? Doesn't matter. And I think that's where we try to separate ourselves from other charities. Lots of charities have gone desperate for money, blah blah. Look, we all are. But we've just said, actually, let's just get people connected at this time, keep people engaged, and get people active.
I think that's really cool. So, how if someone did want to participate in that, how would they get involved with that? Like, what would be the first steps for them to do that? I know it's going to be. So let's just say specifically for the Great North Run one, how would they kind of what would be the next steps for them if they wanted to participate with that?
Yeah, sure. So if anybody wants to visit our website, which is www.stbenedicts.co.uk/fundraising, have a look on the events tab. There's a number of virtual events on there, as well as lots of our other core events, which have been rescheduled for next year. Pop us an email. We'll send you out a registration pack. We'll send you out a lovely vest as well. One of these nice white vests. Not a t-shirt, but a nice tight vest. You want to get the guns out,
Show the guns out, yeah, man. Sends out guns out.
But yeah, we'll send you a vest out, we'll send you a fundraising pack. What we're also doing is an added incentive is if anybody raises over £30, they'll also get a signed St Benedict's t-shirt by Team GB Marathon winner Ali Dixon.
Awesome.
And you'll get a chance to win loads of prizes as well. So it's just different.
That's brilliant, guys. So yeah, I've put a link in the chat there. That's stbenedicts.co.uk /fundraising. Definitely would check it out, guys. That's an awesome one. And Sue was saying there in the chat, can I offer St. Benedict's my voluntary services? So I'm not too sure about that, what kind of volunteering things, but I'm sure there's going to be opportunities all the time in different kind of ways, right, Anf?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, obviously, as you can imagine, we're restricted on what we can do in terms of volunteering hospice. For example, our daycare centre is currently closed at the moment. And in terms of volunteering at the hospice, we're not really encouraging it because we simply can't have people on the ward.
Makes sense.
We do have patients perhaps who do still come in with COVID from week to week or whatever, so we have to monitor that. So we're really restricted in terms of the hospice. However, we always have opportunities across our retail unit, which is our second-hand shops across the charity shops. And once the event season starts back up, we'll have a number of opportunities there as well. So, yeah, Sue, just visit our website, keep an eye on our social media, and any opportunities we'll share.
Yeah, so yeah, check out the retail kind of side to it. Obviously, as Anf was saying, just to kind of echo what Anf was saying there. Obviously, the daycare is obviously closed at the moment, understandably, but yeah, so that's really cool, man. And I know that you kind of briefly mentioned about China before, and I know that the first episode you and Haytham didn't really talk too much about that, but obviously it's past now, and we did mention that a bit at Shine, but I think that it was such a massive event that it's worth kind of drawing attention to a bit. Obviously, with the kind of stuff at the moment, it's not going to be possible, but would you ever do anything like that again in the future? And have you had any ideas for that, or which country would you go to, or is the
definitely. So prior to lockdown, we had another trip booked. We were ready to go in 2021, April 2021. We were going to go to India.
Wow.
And God, I've lost my train of thought there.
So you were saying you were going to
anyway,
go to...
we were going to go and we were going to go and God, what's it called? I can't even remember. I remember. Anyway, so China, for anybody who doesn't know, we took a team to the Great Wall of China last year. We raised £85,000. The guys from Media Savvy, Mel and Dan, came across. They've got a fantastic documentary for us as well. It's on your YouTube channel. So if anybody hasn't seen it, have a look at it. But yeah, in terms of India, we're going to go across. We're going to go on a sleeper train. We're going to go to Malays. We're going to go and finish at the Taj Mahal. And basically, it was an 11-day trek, just seeing all of the culture and all of the amazing things that India has to offer, which would have been great.
So that's absolutely awesome, and I think that that's really cool there. Obviously, they did the Great Wall of China, which is a massive thing, and I think that one of the key points that I thought about that was that obviously there's a bunch of different people fundraising, doing kind of similar trips, but I mentioned there was one, I think that a group for cancer, I don't want to paraphrase this too much, but a group for cancer research we may be doing, and that we in fact actually, like St. Benedict's, they've raised more than that specific group. And I think that, as you said yourself, for a relatively small, I think, hospice in Sunderland in the northeast of England to raise that much money, that was such a great effort, right? And you guys, I think, did an amazing job.
Yeah, you know what, it was amazing. I mean, I think we had 22 people in total, and the cancer research, they're a national organisation. You have millions of pounds worth of money going in there. People from all over the world, in fact, raising money. We had 22 people, predominantly from Sunderland, I think it was just amazing to see such a small organisation, such a small charity raise so much money. I think cancer research raised about £30,000. And look, it's not a game of one-upmanship, but for us, that was an amazing achievement. And it was thanks to the guys who were involved. Media Savvy contributed around 10k. We had 4 nurses from the hospice who took part as well. Which I guess really helped us in terms of people relating to what in terms of people coming across. But the guys did brilliant. We had a great time, and we'll be friends for life. And what I would say is, when we do start up our next set of overseas trips, or even our UK trips, please have a look at them and come along. It's a great opportunity, and lots of these things are once in a lifetime. So yeah,
definitely. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's there's like two positives. It's the fact that it's a once in a lifetime thing, but that it's for a good cause as well. So it's like there's always that as well. So it's like that you're raising money for a good cause, and then if you're getting to see something like the Taj Mahal in India, Great Wall of China, like these amazing things, and it's great that also you mentioned there about day trips, right? So there's the more kind of ambitious like ones in different countries, but then you're also saying that there's like similar kind of trips on like a smaller scale as well. Is that right?
Yeah. So we're looking at UK trips as well, and again, it was on the agenda before all of this began that we were going to look at doing a UK trip. Probably this year we were going to take on the challenge of Hadrian's Wall,
Oh
which
wow,
is something I've taken on myself previously.
it's like
53 mile.
83
Um,
mile, right? Is that
oh,
right?
it's beautiful. Like, I
It's
mean,
mad.
we were going to take it over 3 days. So the idea is you would trek for a little bit. There'd be a campsite all set up for you. There'd be barbecue ready for you, a couple of cheeky beers on the night, and off you go again the next day. A really fun experience. And, if the opportunity comes up again, which I'm sure it will soon, then please stay involved.
That's awesome. So does that end at Wall's End then? Like I'm guessing, or
Yeah. So you start over at Carlisle. I think it's kind of bonus, bonus. I think it's called anyway. Bit of bonus in Solway, and then just straight across. Bizarrely, I did it 4 years ago before I worked for the hospice. For the hospice, I ran it, me and my friend,
wow,
33 hours, which was
dude,
tasty. But
it's
yeah,
a ultra marathon, man.
it's pretty cool. It was pretty cool. But what's interesting about Hadrian's Wall is there isn't actually much wall. I don't know if you've ever been up there before.
I see
There's
bits of
not a
it.
lot of
Yeah, I've been to Wall. I've been at Wall's End, and I've seen
yeah.
the museum and stuff there. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's tough. And when me and my friend did it, there was loads of floods and things, so all the track was broken. So
Man.
we were trying to follow this route on a map. There was no track. There was definitely no wall. We were like, oh, righty. So we just head across the country. We'll get back to the northeast at some point.
Yeah, as long as you're going in the right direction, huh?
Exactly.
But yeah, man, that's pretty cool, and yeah, I think that stuff like that's awesome. So obviously, it's cool that hopefully when things get back up, then it'll we'll start to be able to do stuff like that again. And I know that watching the episode with Haytham as well, you guys are talking about Tough Mudder at the time, which wasn't cancelled, and you said to Haytham, you were like, "There's just no way that it's going to happen in August." So you obviously could kind of tell that was the case back then, right? So it's unfortunate. Yeah,
It's great enough runs another one. I've been saying for months, there was no way on this earth that we're ever going to put 80,000 people in the middle of a motorway and run them. But the thing is, with all of these things, I mean, they still haven't officially cancelled the London Marathon, have they? Because they're just clinging on to the advertising money and all the rest of it. But it's just not going to happen. We're just not going to see mass participation this side of Christmas. And yeah, Boris has been on the day saying that in October we can go back to stadiums and all the rest of it. But in terms of getting that many people together, I just can't see it this side of Christmas, really.
yeah. I mean, I think like, yeah, I don't know.
Confidence game more than anything else. Because I think, yeah, we can open football stadiums and people will go back, but lots of people are still going to be, fearful that perhaps they've been shielding for months or so. I don't know. I think next year is when you have to look at things together. I think.
Yeah, I think that seems like a reasonable to me too, and as well, it's because obviously we see that in you know not to go off topic, but we see that in Europe it's getting better in a lot of places, but in America, they've had a lot of problems with it. So it's like I don't know, it is a bit dodgy in parts, obviously. Um, but yeah, man. So I wanted to say as well, you mentioned about the skydive obviously got cancelled, and I was just interested in that actually because I wanted to ask like, is that something that you yourself have done before, or would you do that, or?
Yeah, I've done a couple actually. I was lucky enough I did one, oh, again, when I did all the fundraisers for St. Benedicts before I worked there, I did a skydive. And I was lucky enough as well. I worked at Sun FM Radio at the time, and I was donated a prize to go and jump with the Tigers skydive team who do the air show, which was cool, man. What
Wow.
was even cooler about it was I rocked up the Peter Lee Skydiving Academy, and his car pulls up, and I was like, yeah, it's him. And this guy comes out, he says hello, and he was chatting away. Anyway, it turns out he was Ross the Weatherman from ITV, and I was like, what?
Wow.
Anyway, so that was that, and I was like, okay, grand. And it went on a little bit longer. Another car pulled up. Kevin Ball, so the legend Kevin Ball gets out of the car. And I was like, what? And it just happened. I ended up on this like celebrity kind of like skydiving
Oh
thing.
man,
I jumped out with the Tigers parachute team, which was amazing.
that's so cool.
Terrifying. I'm not gonna lie, it's terrifying. But yeah, if you get a chance to do it, a skydive, that's good.
I I'd love to do it. It's one of those things like once in a lifetime thing, and it's like a bucket list thing. My mate who's in the army, he went to like a skydiving school because he got his license, and
Right.
you have to dive a certain amount of times before you get your license. And it was in like Chicago where he went, and he said on his second jump he had to pull his reserve, and he said he was terrified, and he said that he remembers that he had to pull like his reserve after, and he said he was like kind of panicking, and then after that he had to do another jump that day, and he said that if he didn't, like, he needed to do that jump like because everyone else was, and also the fact that, you know, if you start to let that fear build up, then he's just never going to do it again, so he had to get up there and get it done again. But yeah, it's a very rare thing as well. It doesn't really happen to people, and like he was pretty unlucky for that to happen to him.
You know what it is with that? Like, I'm not great with heights. I've never been good with heights.
Man.
But honestly, genuinely, until you do it, you'll not know. But when you're up there, it's not like being high, because I jumped twice at PLE and you can't see anything on the ground. You just, well, both times it's just been cloudy. So, I mean, I'm not going to say it's not terrifying, because it is. But once you free fall and then you cord hits gold, it's cool, man. It is cool.
I know, and I need to do it. And the thing is, it's weird because like I'm not. I don't know. Like I'm like I am, and I'm not scared of heights. I don't know if that makes sense, but like it's like literally like I'll be fine, and then there'll be a moment. It's like when I do presentations, I'll get in my own head for like a little bit, and like I was in the lakes recently, and like the best thing I could think, like we were doing one of the mountains, and it's like the best thing to think is like don't panic, because there's a moment where I start to like panic, and then I think, oh, imagine a fall, and then I start to get that vertigo feeling. I start to feel sick, and I'm like, oh my god, and then like I just started like, you just think like there's no like, and then it goes away and then you're fine again. But there's always like a brief moment where like I have like 20 seconds where I just start to freak out in my head. And it's like, sometimes when I do like presentations, it's the same thing. Like I'll be totally fine, and then I'll just become aware of what I'm doing, and I'll be like, oh my god, all these people are looking at me, and then I'll start to think like, oh no, and then it just goes away, and I'm like, oh, it's okay. But it's just kind of, it's kind of, well, the way that I deal with it is I acknowledge it, and then I just let it like go away. But yeah,
I just close my eyes and cry.
There's been times, but that's I guess it's like a fight or flight thing, and I think that obviously just like I think that is the thing. I could just literally like run out the room like screaming, but so far I've never like choked yet, so it's.
But the good thing is, Dan, we're still taking bookings for next April, which is when we rescheduled for. So you just want to give your bank details? I'll get them now.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was signing on to the Tough Mudder, so hopefully if it comes back, you know, I mean, because they will probably reschedule it. I'm all
yeah, I mean, you ticket for next year, shouldn't you? Have you got your ticket for next year?
Well, yeah, I do. Yeah. And
we're all figuring it out, so.
I was feeling fine about it, but you actually made me freak out a bit, because because I remember you were like, yeah, it's like this barbed wire fence, and you were like, yeah, I nearly got knocked out the first time I did it. I was like, what? I was like, oh my god, it was like totally freaked me out.
But, it's fun, man. It's fun. In front of thousands of people, you know what I mean? It's cool.
Yeah, but that's I don't know if you said it or if Dan said it, but he was saying that like on that barbed wire bit we can like all go through together, and I think that's so
that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You know what, right? Like I've done 10 times now, and I've seen people do everything, right? I've seen people try to avoid them like this, right? I've seen people try to crawl underneath. I've seen people run. I've seen people go slower. You know what, right? The way that they're positioned, you're just not going to get away from them.
Yeah.
So what you're better off doing is just getting your pals, getting together, and just going for it. And just, somebody gets killed, you just drag them along. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got a couple of bodies on the end. Hey, do you know what? It makes a good press piece, doesn't it?
That's it, man. I know. We were talking, and I heard a few people were like, they said that everything was all right. They were going to be fine with everything, but there's a bit where like it's like quite high, and then there's like a pool of water, and they said that that's the only bit that might get them. So I don't know.
Well, now it used to be called a water plant, and there was an accident actually in the UK, scarily, where somebody fell on somebody's head, and so I think they took it out, but that was pretty terrifying. 30 foot drop.
Oh
just
man.
Straight over.
No, you don't want to fall on somebody's head. It's like.
Well, exactly. Do you know what it is, though, right? The first time I'm scared of heights, and I genuinely am, right? And the first time I did it, I got up because the way it was kind of off a cliff, so you couldn't see the other side. So I climbed to the top. Everyone's there. And I didn't realise it, and I got to the end, and I was like, right, and he's like, right, go, and I was just like, oh, no, I ain't going down there, son. And it must have took me a good 5 minutes to kind of build myself.
Get the energy to do it, yeah.
What horrendous. Well, that's fear, isn't it?
That's it, yeah, and it is, and that's why but it's that thing though, isn't it? It's like, when you go on a roller coaster, it's exciting because you're scared. That's why it's good, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's that thing, and gives you all the endorphins and stuff. So like, I'm sure that when you got down the other end, you were like, woo, like it was. I'm sure that, you know.
Yeah.
So that's it. But yeah, so we'll look forward to that for next year. And yes, mate. So I wanted to ask. Yeah, so I saw that someone was on Facebook. Someone was doing they were doing 1 million step walks, and like they set up their own fundraiser. So that like made me have the thought, like, if someone wanted to set up their own, like it was for St. Benedict's, I believe. If someone wanted to set up their own fundraiser for St. Benedict's, how would they set that up? And also, like, what kind of ideas? Because I've thought about doing something like that. Like one of my friends did 5K a day. That was like their thing for 30 days. And like, just what kind of fundraising ideas have you had for like little things that people can do themselves? And if they wanted to do one for St. Benedict's, how would they set it up?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, good question. The truth is, people can do anything. And actually, what might be a challenge for one person, some other people might not see that as a challenge. Examples is Sir Captain Todd.
Yeah.
Walked up and down his garden. To somebody like Dan, for example, is a great example. Dan's a relatively fit bloke, and if he did that, they'd be like, I don't know, Dan, you're wandering up and down your garden. But actually, challenges is kind of, it depends on where you're at and what you like. So I guess the truth is, there's anything you can do, but just to give you some of the examples of some amazing things that people have done for us. We had a young girl called Miley, who was 11-year-old. She did hula hooping. So she hula hooped for a whole month. She did 15,000 hula hoops across the month, which was pretty cool. We had a girl called Dr. Anya Belfont, who used to work at the hospice. She did a 24-hour workout, which was quite cool. So every half hour, somebody would come on and do their session on Zoom. Then the next person would. It was great, man.
That's cool.
People who got the free flop shift, unlucky, but actually,
yeah. Oh man, cool. Yeah.
And then you talk about Hannah Sewell, who's the girl who's just volunteered to do the 1 million steps, which, by the way, is a tremendous idea. God knows where she'll have it. Great idea. Definitely. Challenging, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so there's all sorts of things people can do, as well as your traditional runs and everything. And there's lots of virtual runs out there, including our own. But yeah, if anybody wants to get involved, again, visit our website. I'll pop. You got my email down to pop on the feed.
Yeah, pop my email on as well.
And find my work number on there as well. I'll send it. I'll put it on for you actually. Just give me a call. Pop me an email. Either myself or our head of community engagement, Lisa, will give you a call back, and we can advise. And to be honest, it's just a case of setting up your Just Giving page, because the sponsor forms out, and away you go. But any help's appreciated. So thank you.
So yeah, guys, so I'll be sure to get Anf's email on there if you guys have got any ideas for fundraising stuff yourself. And also, you can go to the St. Benedict's website as well. And we had stbenedicts.co.uk/fundraising we had on there as well. And you can check out that. And yeah, also, so it's just setting up that Just Giving page as well. And then if you get your sponsorship forms, then you should be good to go. Is that right, Anf?
Yeah.
I saw something really cool as well. And it was, speaking of like ideas for people for fundraising, was there was a lady called Sylvia who'd been making her own face masks, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be like a physical activity as well, right? I guess that there's some things like like the face mask that she was making. I thought that was like a really cool kind of idea, and obviously it's using
tremendous. And the face masks are brilliant. I think she's selling them for a couple of quid each, and all the money's from the hospice. People are now donating her more material, and she can probably work with to just kind of over. But she loves it, and she's an 82-year-old lady from Hetton, and during lockdown she was completely alone. So for her, it was just something for her to do and something to give back, and she's doing an absolutely tremendous job. I'm very proud of her.
Yeah, and I think that's absolutely awesome as well. So yeah, mate, I wanted to ask, like, is there any kind of, obviously I know it might be difficult to say what with the kind of things from the coronavirus, but are there any kind of upcoming projects for St. Benedict's at the moment, like, or anything in mind, or anything that's around the corner at all? Or
well, actually, yeah, I've got a bit of an exclusive for you, really. So we've just kind of put together our Christmas program. It's just getting tweaked at the moment, but so we're going to be doing our usual core events. So we have our dedication tree, which you may have seen, which is where we go into the Bridges Shopping Centre for 4 weeks, and people can come along and they can write a little memory and put it on our tree. I know Media Savvy obviously volunteered last year. That raises a lot of money for us. We also have our Light of the Life service, which is coming up in December 6th, which is a really quite moving ceremony where people come along to remember a loved one. We light a light on the tree for their loved one. But besides that, we have some new events as well. So our sunflower ball, our sunflower ball this year is currently in November. It's already been moved from June. However, it's looking increasingly unlikely that we're going to be able to go ahead with 200 people in the room.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to be looking to take that virtually, which is the first thing we're going to do. Now, how that works, we're kind of making up as we go along, as everybody is at the moment. But we're going to look to have online auctions. We've got our ambassadors, so that's Denise Welsh, Harry Dixon, and many others who are going to come on. We're going to do Q&A sessions. We're going to have live music, similar to what we did with Sunflower Day Live, I guess.
Awesome, man.
So that's one thing we're going to be doing. Something else we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing our Christmas extravaganza, which is something we've never done before. Again, it's very similar to Sunflower Day Live. We're going to be having bands on through the day. We're going to have people cooking Christmas dinner, famous chefs.
Oh, wow,
teaching you how to make flower baskets out of holly and things. Lots of Christmas. We've got Santa Claus, the very real Santa Claus is going to be making an appearance.
Oh, wow.
And we've also got, which is definitely exclusive, the Christmas pantomime, which will be featuring some genuine celebrities as well as the St. Benedicts Hospice staff. So
wow.
Really,
this could be awesome. So yeah, guys, coming up towards Christmas time, make sure that you tune into that, because I know that I will be, and I think that sounds absolutely awesome. And I think it's just kind of it's good as well, because I think that in a way, like, it's good to be able to kind of have people to be able to do that remotely, I guess. And like, obviously not everyone's going to need to be in the same place at the same time. So from that, obviously, I know that it is nice to kind of have everybody together, but I think at the same time, some people may be able to commit to it, which they otherwise may not have, because they don't have to, because they may be far away, they might even be in a different country or something. So it's like it makes it easier for people to kind of be able to watch it and to be able to be a part of it, because if they're doing it virtually, then as I said, they could be doing it remotely. So
no, definitely, and lots of the stuff for Sunflower Day Live, lots of it was live, but lots of it was pre-recorded stuff. You just have to make do what you've got. But what we want to do is basically just put on a bit of a show. It's going to be December 19th, and it's just going to get people feeling festive. We'll have a text to donate button as well, so if people want to donate, then we can. We're not really fussed. If people don't want to donate, get it as well. Just enjoy the night, listen to the music and have fun. Basically, that's what it's all about.
Sounds awesome. Sounds like good fun, man. I'm going to catch up with the chat, because we've had a bunch of chat here, and I haven't really caught up with it too much just yet. So we have Dan saying that you're looking very pink there, Anthony. I'm sure that's just a filter as well, mate. So yeah, and Dan also says we apologise for any bad language. That's not from us. I believe that was in the video of Hey from Sledgehammer in the Door. So yeah, apologise for that. But I think you can forgive him when he's sledgehammering a door up, and you can expect a bad word or two. And yes, Sue was saying that she's going to get me a hairband to keep the hair out my eyes. So thanks, Sue. I think I need that with my 90s Manchester look that I've got going on here.
A bit of a look like Karate Kid. I'm not really sure if Karate Kid accepts enough, but you've got a look at Karate Kid at the moment. And he's called Daniel.
Yeah, Danielson. So yeah, that's me. I've had Brian Cox is the one that goes around quite a bit. So that's also another good one.
You can only get better.
Exactly.
The pop culture slide right.
That's the one. Yeah. Brian Cox on the keyboards, man. So that's it. And then so let's have a look as well. Yes, Matt says that many people. This was obviously when we were talking about going virtual. He was saying that many people with autism struggle with face-to-face contact. Zoom and online GP consultations are a positive change. So yeah, from that aspect, that's obviously a really good one. Kind of having that, people being able to maybe feel a little bit more comfortable in their own environment. I think so. That's quite a good one. And yeah, Anthony Shields is saying, let me know if I can do any more video edits for St. Benedicts or any Photoshop posters. So yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, we were obviously I was editing some of the my St. Benedict Stories video, which was a great kind of series that St. Benedict's did, and guys, you can watch those on their Facebook page. If you type in St. Benedict's Hospice to Facebook, I'm sure that they'll come up, and they had some really great videos, and Anthony actually helped with some of the editing for that as well. So yeah, props to Anthony Shields for helping with that. And yeah, do you want to just kind of briefly mention about what the My St. Benedict's story series was, Anth, because I thought it was a really cool kind of thing and quite moving as well.
Yeah, and thanks for your help and Anthony's help as well. You know, it was really, really, truly appreciated. You know, it's something that we'd never ventured with ever before, and you know, it was something that we didn't know too much about. We probably these that we simply couldn't have produced it. But yeah, so my St. Benedict story was just a way of we wanted people to tell their story and say why they were involved with the hospice, you know, and lots of these stories are really quite moving, as you know, I'm sure you remember. We had people who, you know, had lost husbands, wives, children, mums, dads, grandmas. You know, they were really quite sad stories, but in amongst all of the sadness, there was actually so much positivity and so much hope. And even for me who works here in CCP and India out, you kind of see what the hospice, what difference the hospice makes to so many people, and that's really rewarding, not just for us who are involved kind of directly, but for you guys who also support us indirectly, and in fact for the whole city that we have this facility, which, you know, it's so important to so many people. And I guess what I always say to people is, you know, unless you've been touched by the hospice, it's really hard to understand what it is we do and why we do it and all the rest. But, you know, watch the videos, they're really good. They sit on our Facebook, as you said, and across our YouTube as well. So, yeah, thank you for those.
Yeah, so yeah, make sure you check them out, guys, and that they're absolutely awesome, and they are really, really moving as well when you hear about, you know, some people talking about the experiences they had. It's touching stuff. Yes, so Sue is saying that the amazing fundraiser did the China video, and she said she saw that at Shine, and it was the first time she realized St. Benedict's existed, but she was so impressed, and she said she looked into you guys, into your work after that. So that's really cool from Sue as well. And yeah, then other than that, it's a lot of people. So got some pretty funny ones here. So Sue was saying skydiving, hats off to you, Anth. And she's saying that bite the bullet, Daniel, and do it. And then a couple of other people are saying do it, Daniel. So yeah, maybe we'll see, guys. Take a rain check on that one for now. And Sue said if she can sit on Santa's knee, she'll be there. So so we'll see if we can get that arranged.
Hey, Sue, you want to do some volunteering? Genuinely, we will be looking for a Christmas elf. So
there you go. Yeah. So if you want to be one of Santa's helpers, there is a role.
That's the ice cream, man.
So yeah, there's
I've got to go on. I've got to get a 99, right?
Yeah, you're good. It's good enough to get you 99 there, mate. So that's awesome.
Down.
Yeah, that's absolutely class, man. So yeah, I think that's absolutely cool, and yeah, like I said, that I really enjoyed working on the My St. Benedict's story project, and I think that was really cool. So hopefully that we may have some more stuff lined up video wise as well. I know that we're talking about it's all kind of in the ether at the moment, but hopefully that'll be pretty cool coming up. And I'm just gonna have a little check here. And yeah, mate, so I tell you what, we've got about 15 minutes, so I did prepare a couple of news articles as well, so we can take a little look at those as well. And I know, Anth, that you mentioned there briefly about Tom Moore, right? So here we have a little bit of Tom Moore, some breaking Captain Tom Moore news, and I think you touched on it yourself a bit there, mate. And that is just that Captain Tom Moore was knighted by the Queen today. So that's absolutely awesome. And I know that you must have seen this yourself as well, Anne Fry, because you said Sir Captain Tom Moore. So I know that you must have just seen this, and this is like breaking. And
amazing, really, really amazing, isn't it? You know, really.
So there you go. There's a picture of Captain Tom Moore getting knighted. It was at a private ceremony at Windsor Castle by the Queen there, and it was leading up for his 100th birthday. So man, I love that. You know, the thing that I love as well about that is we often like kind of, you know, if you kind of look, people say, oh, you know, when was the peak of your life? Like, what was it? Was it when you were like in your 30s, your 40s, or your 20s? And people sometimes don't say, you know, the best years of my life was when I was 100. I mean, I don't think you hear that as much. And I think that this might be, you know, one of the, I mean, getting knighted, that's got to be one of the greatest moments in your whole life, right? I mean, it's something that, you know, happens to only a few people. And I think for him to have that experience at 100 years old is amazing. And yeah, you know, it's a credit to him. So there we go, and we have a lovely picture there of the Queen with a sword on his shoulders. So credit to Tom Moore. And it says here that the 100-year-old Second World War veteran earned himself the honour after raising almost 33 million for the NHS. So that is quite something.
If anybody wants to do a bit Tom Moore style fundraising for us, I mean, I can take 3 million. 3 million would be a massive help, I don't mind.
Yeah, there you go, guys. And yeah, I'm sure that 33 million for St. Benedicts, that would be absolutely awesome. I'm definitely would be game for that. So yeah, if we've got any kind of people wanting to do that in the chat, then we can get on that, guys. And then I did have one more article that we can have a little look at, and I've actually got some breaking news here. I've made me feel like a bit of a news reporter there. That's the first time that's happened. But Dan Machiavelli says, hot off the presses, our plans for Diego's have literally just been officially approved. So yeah, so round of applause in the chat there, guys. That is absolutely awesome. So yeah, beers all around tonight then. That is absolutely fantastic. So I'm over the moon to hear that. And yeah, that's awesome, man. Then Sue says, fantastic news, Dan. All guns blazing now. And Dan says, kind of, Sue. Just need a few quid. Thanks all. So yeah, but awesome, man. So I'm really happy to hear about that. That is some really good news. So awesome. And I'm happy for the whole Media Savvy team and for Dan as well, because I know he's been, working really hard towards this lately. So, props to Dan for.
No, it's great. You know what? People say, big statements all the time, but if there's anybody who deserves it, Media Savvy deserves all of the good luck and success that you guys get. You all just amazing, and I've said this to all of you all the time. You say this to Dan every day. Pretty much just drop me a text in the morning. Morning, Dan, you're brilliant. But genuinely, I do think you're a great organisation. You help so many people across the city. I will always bang the drum for Media Savvy. So well done.
Thank you so much, Dan, for that. I really appreciate that too, mate. And the feeling is obviously mutual. I mean, there's a reason obviously we have like a partnership, being media partners and so on. But it's like the feeling's totally mutual, man. We love all you guys, and I think that what you guys do is absolutely amazing. So I think that it's great that we kind of have that kind of mutual sense there. I definitely think that, mate. So yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate you saying that, bud. And okay, so like last bit of news that we're going to get onto is that, hold on, I'm just going to switch the screens there because I switched it just while we had the breaking news. Give me 1 second. Okay, so yes, this is another one here. Let's just pop that on. And this is that coronavirus, France's health workers have been given pay rises worth 8 billion. So that's a pretty staggering number, but I'm sure that when it trickles down, it may not be the same as that, or that 8 billion may not directly get to some of the people, but hopefully as much of it as possible will. So yeah, in pounds, that is 7.2 billion, and it is to health workers hailed for their role in fighting the coronavirus in France. And it's just saying that the deal was signed with trade unions on Monday after 7 weeks of fraught negotiations, and they were saying that the government has reached an agreement on pay that will see the wages of health workers rise by 183 euros a month on average. So, and I know that there was some protests for the health workers there, and obviously, it's good that these people are getting, pay rises, because I really think that, these kind of key workers and people like health workers, I mean, if anyone deserves it, it's those guys. They are literally, fighting to save people's lives. And when you hear some of the stories about the health workers around through the coronavirus, the care workers and just people all across the health sector, they've done amazing stuff. And I think that clapping for people is great. When we were getting out on a Thursday and clapping for people, that's so good. And I totally I'm all for that, but I think at the same time it's good to have some kind of like tangible thing that can really kind of help these guys, because they are like some of the most valued in society, right? I think so.
Clapping doesn't buy you Coke Pops on the day, does it?
Exactly, mate. Yeah. So
I just touched on what you were saying about key workers. I think one thing this is really brought about is prior to all of this happening, people often kind of turn their nose up at things like supermarket workers, perhaps bus drivers and bin men and all the rest of bin women, and I don't know the word, bin people.
I know what you mean. Yeah, but that's it, isn't it? But like, yeah.
But it did, people, and you know what? I think most of us are probably not guilty of it, but we probably did think of those jobs as well. I wouldn't do that. And now we realise these people are the only people that kept the country going.
Exactly.
You know what? It's amazing, isn't it? And
yeah.
It's good recognition for it.
Yeah, it is, and I think that I think that we're all guilty of being kind of absorbed in our own kind of world, and I think that you go in, you buy like some milk and some bread, and then you leave the shop, and you don't even like look at you don't even make eye contact with the staff or anything, and it's like that is just we all kind of, it becomes this thing, but to highlight, as you were saying, when the country stopped, these were the people getting up and going to work, and and there was a lot of hysteria about stuff, and no one really knew what was going on. No one knew enough about the coronavirus in general, and these people were still going to work every day and making sure that you could get that bread and milk. So I think that, all across, and the people were still going and taking out the rubbish, and that wasn't piling up outside your house while you're having to stay at home. And it's like all of this stuff, we kept the wheels turning, and it kind of highlighted, a lot of people were like, wow, these people are doing a service that it's really helping these people, and it's helping me, it's making me live my life. And I think that there were stories me and Haytham were going through all these stories all the time, and there was one about like a girl who worked in like Sainsbury's, and the people in her street, this is when obviously at the height of it, when like it was only the key workers that were working still, and she was saying that there was people that left on her car like some like celebrations and little things like that. And I think that that's amazing for like to notice that this person, who's working in Sainsbury's, and to be able to kind of highlight, just to say, what she's doing is helping. And yeah, man, so it's great to kind of see that. I think so. Good point, Anf, definitely, mate. So yeah, guys, we are winding down now. We've got a few minutes left. If anybody has any questions for Anf, make sure you get them in. And guys, just in the meantime, you know what time it is. It is time to do the survey, guys. I know that you guys probably done 1 million by now, and I know that I say that every time as well, but just make sure we get it done, guys. And it takes, I think Matthew said he did a survey in like 40 seconds when he was on stream on Monday. So get it in, guys. It only takes a couple of seconds, and if you could just do that, that would be awesome. Also, is there anything that you'd like to add at all, Anf, mate? Is there anything you kind of you want to add to that, or?
No, just really just kind of reiterate what I said earlier about media savvy. Keep up the good work. I don't know if you're aware or not, but I've just been named as one of the committee board for the NVCR Wellbeing Project, which is going to be contributing along with things that Media Savvy are working on as well. Awesome. So that's really quite cool. So I'm really excited about that.
Brilliant.
But yeah, just keep up the good work you guys are doing. You do a tremendous job. I think everybody involved in Media Savvy really feels that buzz and that positivity. I can't wait for the day goes to open and see Dan McDermott playing a bit of Beethoven on the piano.
There you go. Well, I'll tell you what. Well, Dan is we can actually make a jazz cuff, because Dan can play the sax a little bit. He can do a little bit of Coltrane there. And
I always thought to Lisa Simpson about him, right?
Yeah, there you go. Bleeding Gums Murphy. So yeah, Dan will get up on the saxophone, and then I think Ella is quite musical, so she can maybe get up on the guitar, and I'm sure that she can play a little bit on the piano as well there. So yeah, make sure you get that survey. And one more question, just the last question before I go on for them, mate. Can you just mention a little bit about? I read about the Much Loved platform that you guys have been working on. So what's that about? And could you tell us just a little bit about that, ma'am?
Yeah, sure. So something that we're really quite conscious of during lockdown and everything else is obviously people couldn't get funerals, which was really sad. But from it sounds a bit spiteful in some ways, or selfish reasons. We get a lot of money out of funeral donations. Families go along and donate a lot of money, and we generate a lot of money for Hospice, which we lost. And ultimately it affected our income. So we needed a way to kind of generate that, as well as giving people somewhere where they can remember their loved one forever and let them live forever. And so the idea of Much Love is basically a platform where people can go on. They can direct people to make donations for that funeral collection that may not have been able to happen, although obviously that's normal. It also gives people an opportunity to rather than your Facebook page, which is a memorial page, you can go on here and you can light a candle on somebody's birthday, or people can go on and play that person's favorite type of music. You can all add photos. It's a bit like Pinterest, but for people to, it's a memorial for people to remember people forever, and we'll see how it goes, but it's just again giving people an extra option, and
definitely
hopefully people enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that's a nice idea. I think that's a really cool idea. So hopefully we can watch that develop, and I think that seems really cool. So yeah, I think that's awesome, man. And yeah, so Dan says, just in closing there, Dan says, thanks, Anne, top man. Thanks for joining the steering group too, and I'm sure your opinion is going to be highly valued at that, Anne. So yeah, cheers, mate. And guys, yeah, if that's it, then me and Anne are going to go. I'm going to leave the advice screens on there just while we pop off. But thank you everybody for tuning in. It's much appreciated, guys, and thanks, Anne, for coming along. You were great, mate. So yeah, absolutely awesome. And all right, guys. So yeah, we're going to take off then.